Welcome back to Light Talk, where everyday people can share their own unique spiritual journey stories with a safe and supportive community. If you have a story you would like to share, email me at lighttalk423@gmail.com. And while you're at it, click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons. All right, let's get started. We've got a fantastic guest for you. She's got lots of stories and it'll be awesome. Take it over. Go ahead and tell us your name and a little bit about yourself, and welcome to the show.
Mm. Thank you, Dana, for having me in your Light Talk show. What a beautiful name. I really love the name of the show. And yeah, so today I'm going to talk about Starseed Awakening in general. I'm Elies Hadi. I'm coming live to you from Indonesia. And I've been guiding Starseed visionary and healers in their awakening journey since 2016, and I do it through light language, Akashic healing, angel healing, and all other amazing stuff. And what leads me to where I am is my personal Starseed awakening journey, actually. Before we get into that, right, some of you might be like, what is Starseed even? Like, what is she talking about? So the way I define Starseed is that it is soul who have incarnated into Earth this lifetime, which originally have not necessarily originally, but they have lifetime other than Earth, meaning they have other lifetimes in other planet, other galaxy, and other stars, and hence the name star seed. And also, there are different types of star seed, and some of the name you might have seen in around online. Nowadays, we see reels everywhere, right? Like name like Palladian, Lemurian, Orion, Atlantean, even Andromedan, like the list goes on. The only reason I'm even listing them out is just to kind of let you have an idea on what you're talking about in case you have seen it somewhere before. And sometimes some words might just like activate something in you. So understand that this isn't so much about information sharing in a way. Like, yes, it is information, it is wisdom, if you may, but it is more than that. It is frequency, it is energy, it is activation. So let everything be an activation. Even after this talk, like everything can be a potential for healing and activation. So stay open to that and surrender and see what the divine shows you. And that's how you connect the dots looking back. Then it will make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense now, just like my Starseed Awakening journey didn't make sense until it makes sense. So like I have been surrounded by Starseed like my whole life without making the dot that I might be one. Like one of my best friend is Starseed. And I remember I quit my job in 2015 and I was in like a rebirthing retreat right after I quit my job. And we were in this doing elemental breathwork, and one of the guy there was sharing about like how he went back to Orion and met his star family and have like this entire conversation during the meditation. And I remember back then in 2015 I was like, he sounds very crazy. Like I mean I know he isn't mentally crazy, but like boy, like what he is sharing is like out of this world, because at the time this concept was just so out. And yet, like it is a story I've been exposed to from like all the time without realizing. And that's why I'm saying, like pay attention to the sign and the messages, and then it will make sense later on. And so it's only until I was one night looking at the stars and just feel so pulled by the Milky Way. And then I heard a voice that tells me, you are home, you are never alone, and we have never left you. And immediately I felt that gush of love, pure divine love that I've never ever felt with so much intensity before at the time, that there is just no question that, like I cannot make these things up. It is real. I feel it. And it's just so much love that I felt literally like embraced in a cocoon of love, and I feel home in my body, in this physical body. I also feel home in my star body in that sense. And that moment, immediately everything makes sense to me, and I'm like, oh my God, apparently I'm a starseed. and and yeah, so that's like the magic moment for me, if you may. And the thing is, even realizing that I'm a starseed is just kind of like an initiation process in a way. And then like there are gonna be more aha moment to come. Just with spiritual journey in general, it's not like a one time you graduate, goodbye. Like, it's like kind of you revisit it, right? So that
Right,
journey
right.
kind of lead me to a deeper connection to my star family, until when I meet my star family for the first time in a meditation, when I started to see a lot of like blue light coming in. And usually when I meditate, I work with different color light, and mostly it is golden for me. It might be something else for you guys. However, blue isn't as common, so it definitely caught my attention. This is something I often share with my clients. When your guides are trying to tell you something, they usually will make sure it catch your attention. Like you can't miss it unless you ignore it. Like they will do their very best to be creative and to be like loud, even like or subtle. It doesn't have to be loud, but when they need to, they will be loud. So don't wait
It'll
till
be
it's
loud
loud.
enough to catch your attention in
I know,
whatever
like
way. Right,
yeah,
right.
it can be subtle, but the point is it will catch your attention, subtle or loud, either way. So in my case, blue light isn't necessarily like scary or anything or loud, right? But it catches my attention because it's usually golden. Why is it blue today? So this I started seeing like these sparkles of blue light in my meditation, and I'm just like, okay, this frequency feels new. I don't know what it is. I know it's love. I know it's light. So that much is good. And then I started to just allow and trust and surrender the process, letting it unfold. And probably over the course of a week or so, what started like a flickers of light started to form into clearer, more defined lines and vision, until one day it dropped down and I just see this whole council of Palladian Star Mother in front of me.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, I know. And that's when I'm like, oh, I'm glad I followed the calling. And yeah, so obviously that's my first connection that I realized. I probably connected before without realizing, and we have like this conversation, and immediately I knew that they belong to my spirit team. I'm meant to work with them. They're definitely my star family and my galactic guide. And from there on, like it kept on unfolding to Lemurian Star Mother, Sirius, the Yeshua, the Madeline, and just like Syrian White Lion, Sophia White Dragon. Like there are so many of them, but the point is, it just keep on unfolding, just like any journey will. So that's kind of how I first realized I'm a starseed, and how I meet my star family and galactic guide. And a lot of people that often ask me is it important for us to know our star family, like our origin? That's what I get to ask a lot. And my answer is kind of like yes and no, because there is a divine timing to everything. When I first was shown the Akashic record through my dream, that's how I got activated. In my dream, I was brought to a Akashic library, and then I saw this energetic library with, it's very multidimensional. It's all like crystalline light, and the Akashic record keeper was like having conversation with me. It's like I was telling the other person, it's like having mystery school training in my dream while I'm sleeping. Is pretty cool, and I love that. And I remember one of the guides was telling me specifically that, because I think I went into the record and I said there was nothing. Why is there nothing? And the guide told me, because there's nothing you need to know now. Because maybe you haven't even, maybe there's something you need to kind of complete before the next thing unfold. So there isn't
Right.
additional information needed, like kind of finish what you have now, finish the food now before you top up, you kind of something like that. Or maybe
Yeah.
you're exactly right where you are, like there is no more confirmation or question needed, like everything is perfect as it is. And also understanding that these are like records of like, I mean, time is even irrelevant now in Akashic, but it's like lifetime and lifetime and lifetime that a soul has. Like, why would you want to access everything at once? You will go crazy, like overwhelmed. It will not help anyone, right? Right.
Definitely.
I know. That's why it's like, that's why do you need to know your star family, your origin? Yes and no, in the sense that if you need to know and if it is the time to know, you will know. So tying back to my story as an example, right? Like I know I'm a
Mhm.
starseed. I didn't know immediately the origin, but eventually they revealed to me. And to me, that felt more tangible, more real, and more personal because there is a connection. For me, when I work with my guide, doesn't matter if whatever you want to call it, angel, starseed, or dragons, but the personal connection is what matters rather than just having someone tell you, like I can have a reading that people tell me, oh, you have nine guys and your name is A, B, C, D, E, F. And if I feel nothing, it's like, okay, great information. Thank you. But, I don't know what to do with it. So
Yeah.
information is great. So
Okay.
like like you sound if you want to get a reading and people tell you your star family origin, that is great. I'm not saying that don't do that. I mean, you can do that if that's your thing. I'm just saying even more than that, right? You can go deeper by really going into your personal connection. So having the name given to you help in the sense that it might activate a remembrance. You might find like, okay, that name is familiar, but just don't get overwhelmed. Like don't let yourself be caught by the rabbit hole because that's the common trap of starseed. I remember one of my clients was saying that, like he got this reading done and then apparently he found out he's from different starseed family, and now he's confused which one is the starseed family I'm from, and which one is the one I'm meant to be working with this lifetime. So suddenly he become
Mm.
very overwhelmed. And as I was sharing, the information is great. The question is then how can he use this information? So I remember telling him at the time in one of those calls that we had is pick one, just pick one. If you happen to see a lot, pick one and ask them to reveal themselves to you. And that the natural process unfold in that sense. And also this is something, I share in my Starseed Awakening course. I guide people through their journey so that they get to meet their star family and connect and have that energetic conversation, similar to kind of like how I described. But of course, your experience is going to be entirely different. But then
Right.
it's that personal connection. And you might not get a name. You might just know I felt love, I felt home, but I don't necessarily have a name. But some people have a name. Some people even remember exactly what their starseed gift is, what they are calling, and why they come here. And some people remember their starseed name. Doesn't matter what they remember. What is important is what you need to remember. But that's the infinite potential that a healing journey like that can open up for you. So when you go through a transpersonal journey like that, you're just allowing the divine to reveal exactly what you need at the time.
At the time.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I have been visited by ETs, but I don't know who they were. And I've also had a meditation and I visited a family of mine, my mom, and I don't know what being she was. So with being visited or being meditated and being sent to them, which one would be more of the possibility of being that star seed? Would it be the one you sent that I visited or they came to visit me?
That's a great question. It doesn't matter the how, when, where, what, and so on. The details doesn't really matter because the universe doesn't communicate in linear human mind term. So it can be they visit you or I visit them. It can be even just picking up a book and see a name, as simple as that. Doesn't have to be so woo-woo. So all of these are signs and messages that, like it's kind of like something is being, like a seed is planted and awareness is activated, and then when the things line up, it will line up. However, the fact that you are considering that it might be a star seed already says something, because you could totally be like, this is not star seed, this is fake, this is, like whatever name you want to give it. And that brings me to a question as to, a lot of people ask, like, how to know if you are a star seed, right? And there are
Right.
many ways to know. One of the common way is that you will know that the often sign is that you feel like you don't belong, and that you are like the weird one out, whether it's in the family or society, and there is this deep longing for home, but you don't know where, but it's just not where it is now. So this longing of home, longing of belonging is often the sign of starseed, and that starseed also has a bigger mission. Usually they have an individual mission that is unique to them, and they have a collective mission that is to uplift humanity, raise vibration, and be of service to the divine and to the humanity, because divinity in humanity is the theme of, it's not about heaven or earth, it's like bringing heaven on earth. And to answer back to your question, right? All right, if someone actually has similar experience to you and they are not sure, what they can do is, if they have an opportunity to go into meditation again, whether it's alone or guided, depending on where you are in your journey, you can always reconnect with that being, in this case, what you appears to be your mom, and ask more
Mhm.
questions.
Okay.
Is this really my mom connecting with me because she has something that she wants to tell me? Or is this a star family, but being represented as my mom because that will makes you feel safer? Because sometimes, they have to meet people where they are. They don't necessarily, there is no fixed form, right? Like sometimes people ask
Right.
me, how do they look like? Can you draw them out? I'm like, I see like lights and forms, but they are not tangible and dense like us. So like you can try drawing them out, but you're diluting like you're like totally diluting their vibration and frequency of doing that. It's like, so sometimes they don't necessarily appear the same for you and for me. Like just
Right.
because I see blue light for Palladian, by the way, it doesn't mean you have to see blue light. Maybe you see
Mhm.
golden light, but that's the same. So maybe it represents as your mom, or maybe that is like your star mother, or I don't know, like the potential is infinite. So you can
Okay.
consider like reconnecting in that meditation again and ask and go deeper
Okay.
and even journal. And another one that I really like to work with is dream time. Like you can always say, reveal what I need to know in my dream, and start to pay attention to your dream. Keep a journal if you need even, and watch out for the signs and the theme that come out so that you can look back and see a recurring messages there and so on. And I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, yeah, because yeah, I mean, I know I'm a star seed. I just know it. Because I do feel like I don't belong here. I do feel like I'm always looking at the stars. I don't know anything about the stars, but I'm always watching the night sky. I love to watch it. Um, so it's like a wonder, but I haven't really thought like most people. I had this unique thinking process that I don't feel like anybody else has. And so it seems
Mm.
to be making it harder being 3D.
Your star set
So
wisdom.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I feel like I really am a starseed and I just don't know who yet or where I'm from, but the one that I met in my meditation was absolutely loving. Um, beautiful. I mean, she was just fantastic.
Mhm.
So much love
I
she
know,
had.
right?
Oh, so much. Yeah, it
Mm.
makes the 3D mom of me feel like crap because it's like she had so much love. It's like, oh man, how did I do with my own son? You know? So yeah, it's a knowing for me. It's a knowing.
Really love
Yeah.
how you put it, Dana, because that's also what I often share. Like recently, I was hosting a Remembering Lemurian workshop. And one of the things I keep saying again and again is your mind might forget, but your soul knows, and your body remembers. So you know, like you just know it. It's just a matter of the awareness and the awakening unfolding. Do you have any other question? Because I mean, I can talk forever on this.
I know. It is a great subject, isn't it? No, just kind of you answered one of them. I was going to ask you if there was multiple star seeds that we could have. And we can have multiple, but at the same time, the one that is we visited the most, that's my understandings of the star seed. That's your true family, is the planet that you've been to the most. Am I correct?
It depends on your journey as well and your path, meaning to say, putting starseed aside, I'll just use example, like for example, right? You can journey with Yeshua for a year, or you can journey with Yeshua on Monday, Madeline on Tuesday, Mother Mary on Wednesday, right? But it
Right.
doesn't make any of them less than or more important. It's just kind of maybe your preference, just the way you prefer certain food more than others. Maybe it's the way you learn. Like some people learn better one thing at a time. Some people get bored, they need a few things. Some people feel more supported if they work with 10 guide instead of one. So it's not a black and white answer as to just because I see this one, that must be like the one. But although in my case, I do know that the Palladian Star Mother is like my origin. And we have multiple lifetimes, so it's possible to come from multiple stars. And it also depends like what why you are here, like what's your agreement and assignment and purpose to be here. And maybe right where you are in your life, what you needed to do is this, and the guide that can help you the most is that. So this is the one that keep coming. Doesn't necessarily mean those that come later is not your star family too. And this is also a great opportunity to answer just one last point, which is often asked as well is, so what are the difference between the galactic guides and the star family? So star family is like your family. That's like your origin.
Right.
Galactic guides doesn't necessarily have to come from your star family. So it can be another galactic guide that is like your neighbor star, your neighbor star. And so, but usually the way I see it is your star family is naturally your guide. The same way your earth parents are your guide, right? In a way.
Right.
So your
Right.
star family are naturally your guide. They might not be your primary guide, but they are naturally your guide. However, your guide might not necessarily always be like your star family. Like some people, they work with certain guide, but they don't necessarily feel that that's where they come from, and that's okay. So this is about discernment and distinction. Again, this is just because the human mind wants to know, right? At the end, it doesn't matter. Like at the end, you're working with divine love, you're working with divine light, you're bringing greater awareness, consciousness, doing amazing things with love, and like, who cares what, when, where, how, and what? Like, but,
Very
but
true.
then our human mind, needs to put a name, needs to understand. So that's why we are even having this conversation, just so that the mind can be put at ease, if you may, and so that the soul can remember. Yeah, so I often share Starseed Awakening journey is about remembrance journey, is about remembering who you are, why you are here, and what you are here to share. And it starts with remembering your calling, activating your gifts, and bringing your starseed vision into life. And that's what I'm so inspired and passionate to do every single day because it's just so fun. My personal journey is so fun. And when I listen to even like story like yours or anybody else, it's just fascinating for me. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like it's like I love out of this world stuff. So
Same way. I could talk about this stuff forever, and to be able to tell my stories and to hear other people's stories, that's what you started the podcast, so
mm,
everybody can have their own stories and tell them, because I want everybody to know that we're not crazy and we're all got different stories. We're all on a different journey. We're all in different stages in our journeys. And everybody has this talent. I mean, it's just fantastic to hear everything. It's just I'm still giggly about it because like you, I see you all like giggly too. And it's awesome. It's awesome, It just I don't even know how to explain it. I'm speechless when it comes to all this, but it's a feel good for sure. Um, feel good feeling, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Best thing I've ever
Mm.
done is to get in touch with people like you and to hear your stories, to hear how your journeys went and how that relates to me. And I'm learning a lot about some of the stuff I've been through. It's just been a blast. A blast. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I welcome you to the show. I welcome everybody to the show to tell their stories because every one of them just makes I'm just in awe with every one of them.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, and then it's so intriguing. I just want to know more, 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 more. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So, is what would you say is the best way to try and connect with our spirit or our star seeds? Is it through dream or would you say meditation?
There is no one way, that's for sure. What is most important is your willingness, your openness, and your intention. So if you are listening to this today and you feel that, oh my God, this resonates with me, I must be a star seed. I'm like so sure I am, or maybe not exactly 100% sure, but pretty sure, and you want to connect with your star family, you can just set the intention of prayer like, I'm ready to connect with my star family. Reveal yourself to me in a way that is easy and clear and joy and filled with love and light and see what comes true, like you'll be surprised as to what happened, right? Like you might just find more resources on that. Maybe you have a book full of the shelf, which is something we heard often, or walk through a
Mhm.
store and maybe you start to see starseed workshop somewhere or anything like that. Or maybe you have a dream or meditation journal. Like there are just countless ways. The key here is to be willing and to be open and pay attention to the sign and messages. And don't be in a rush to connect the dots. The dots will connect when it needed to be connected. Yeah, so trust the process, surrender the details, let it go, and let it flow. And of course, like if you desire to be supported and to be guided by a starseed guide so that you can feel more help, love, supported, and know what you are doing at every step of the way and have someone to guide you through, you can always reach out to me and we can work together in that way, whether it is one-on-one or in a live session. And if you prefer self-study, I also have a self-awakening self-study that you can dive in, which includes a journey to meet your star family and heal your starseed wounds, remember your gift, activate your starseed codes, your DNA, your light codes, and bring your vision into life.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And that information will be down below. So you could look at that and we will be able to contact her at any time and contact me anytime for any of your stories. So I think this is a good spot to kind of say goodbye for the day. Sadness, because I always want to hear more. But anyways, it's a great time having you on the show. I love your stories. I love your energy. I love the way you portray your stories. It's beautiful and very loving. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for the space and the love and the energy too, Dana. And thank you everyone who is tuning in and let's have fun. Take care.
All right. Well, if anybody out there has any stories you would like to share, email me at lighttalk423@gmail.com. And don't forget to click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. And we will talk to everybody next time. Bye.